Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Dee Dee. We are the hilarious outcome of opposing brains sharing a mutual desire to share knowledge and positive thinking about hemp and cannabis.
We are here to tear down the walls built by Big Pharma and other big companies that seek to keep the human race in fear and divided.
We are here to shatter the myths about hemp and cannabis and change the stigma of this amazing plant. Welcome to Hemp and Happiness with the Hemp Queen
And Emperor.
podcast. Join us as we venture into this misunderstood and the unknown. Hey guys, thanks for joining us. So this is episode number 2, right?
Indeed.
Indeed it is. And today's topic, we actually have a topic. So we are going to talk about Delta-8 THC. This is going to be fun.
Yes. I'm going to try to speak as little as possible, at least for this part.
Oh my gosh. So yeah. How many of you know what's going on with Delta-8 and THC and even what it is?
They can't talk back.
I know they can't talk back, but you know, they can leave a comment, right?
Yes, you can. Please leave a comment.
So Delta-8 kind of made it to the market back in the fall of 2020. So right during the whole pandemic as it is going full force, right? Delta-8 THC is an isomer or a derivative of THC. I get so many people, and I questioned it myself. How in the hell is Delta-8 THC legal? Matt and I, we had this whole big discussion. I was terrified of putting this on our shelves because the rule is 0.3%, but that's Delta-9 THC. So I started doing some homework back then and doing some research. Talked to police officers. I talked to our state representative. I talked to everybody that I could think of to talk to, and not one single person in the state of Kentucky could tell me that this product was illegal. So,
And I would say beyond that, not only did we discover that it was fully legal and compliant with the 2018 Farm Bill, which we'll post a copy or a link to the 2018 Farm Bill for the listeners so you can review it. But it's also safe, natural, and a very valuable cannabinoid. So we didn't just stop at, is it legal?
no,
Just
definitely.
to clarify, which of course we wouldn't, but it is very important to us that we're using that we're selling a natural product that is healthy.
I was getting there, man.
Oh, my bad.
I was totally getting
Go
there.
on then.
I mean,
All right.
who's talking?
I will
Didn't you say
step
you were gonna?
away.
Didn't you say you weren't gonna talk so
and
much
it
this
lasted
time?
for 30 seconds. Yes.
Welcome to my world, y'all.
Well, I could say something more, but I'm going to leave that 30-second thing alone.
You should.
You can interpret that any way you like.
Yeah. I'll let you interpret that any way you like. Oh, yeah. So anyway.
Those Minutemen out there.
Dude, we're not going there. Bring me back to my chi. Okay. Anywho, so I was more concerned about carrying it, having it on our shelves, and I started doing the homework, the research. Matt and I discussing it, what could be good for people, and then I had to try it. So I was like, this is amazing. I took some at home. I 21 and up. I'm in my 30s. Want to be in my 30s. Anyway, and so I tried some, and I was sitting at home. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this, and we'll see what happens because I've heard mixed reviews about it. I thought I was eating a half piece, and I actually ate a whole piece. And I went for a nice long walk, get my exercise groove on. I thought, oh, this is gonna be a fun ass walk, right? Fun. And I'm like, nothing, not a damn thing happened. I come home, get my shower, eat my dinner, and then I'm sitting on the couch. And the next thing I know, I'm like, ooh, my tongue feels funny. Why does it feel like that wall's moving? Oh, wait. Oh, dude, this is awesome. And I felt just relaxed. And I was watching a show and I enjoyed the show. Like I was laughing out loud. My husband looks over and he's like, "What'd you do?" I said, "Oh, this is great." And he's like, and of course he's a connoisseur of other things. So to me, this was kind of new. And I just had the best time watching that TV episode and I loved it. And I was like, okay, this is neat. This is different. This isn't the normal CBD full spectrum. This is an added bonus. And that's kind of the way I looked at Delta-8. And we put it on our shelves. We started selling it, right? We brought in some products to try them out with other people. I think, yeah.
Well, and just to qualify that and to kind of explain Dee Dee's, trip to Wonderland.
It wasn't like a trip. I mean, but it was fun. I was relaxed.
Delta-8 is currently the only federally legal psychoactive cannabinoid. So, and just to not to get too technical, but it works with the CB1 receptor, CB2.
I don't know. There's two of them.
I believe it works with. I believe it's a CB1 receptor. But correct me if I'm wrong. That is going to change the way your brain is functioning. It will actually alter brain function. I wouldn't say to necessarily a dangerous level that I'm aware of in any of the studies that I've read, but it will change your perspective.
It will. It is an added. I hate to say. I don't use the word high. I don't like to use that word even when I explain what Delta-8 is. I say it's euphoric. Okay? If you take too much, it can be too euphoric for you. So we always recommend starting slow. Take, and that's what you should do with anything like that. You take a small little piece of it, see how your body reacts to it. I think that's super important. But it's a fun cannabinoid.
Yes.
I mean, it is. And not even just fun, but my gosh, the sleep, how you can sleep by taking Delta-8. Like I get a full night of sleep. My mind shuts down. And most people, the ones that know me, I am on the go constantly. I'm a very A-type personality. I overthink freaking everything. I'm constantly, I don't want to say, okay, I am a little bit of a worrywart, not horribly. It's better now that I have CBD, but I do. I think about things a lot, try to come up with solutions. I'm detail oriented, but Delta-8 just helped me relax.
Yeah.
Like the true relaxation.
Yeah.
Without the paranoia and without the anxiety that the famous Delta-9 THC, which is, the marijuana aspect, without those qualities, I guess you can call them, or symptoms, byproducts.
Or side effects.
Side effects. Yeah, I was trying to think of the word.
There you go.
Yeah.
And see, I would argue that personally, because I find Delta-8 to have those same effects with me personally. Now I take any THC in a very limited capacity. I'm an athlete. I like to think of myself as an athlete still. So I am exercising a lot and have to really be careful in the times where I select to utilize a cannabinoid like that. CBD, devoid of any THC, I will take right before exercise. I do take right before exercise.
CBD in general is great for recovery.
Yeah. So I forgot where I was going with this.
Sorry.
Well, anyway, the Delta-8, the psychotropic effects it's not for everyone.
No, it's not.
It can cause discomfort. It can cause paranoia. And
if
you want to be
too much.
For some people, any is too much. So
that's true.
You want to be in the right environment when you try it. Right frame of
mind for sure.
You want to make sure that you're healthy. I wouldn't hesitate to communicate with your healthcare professional prior to taking this cannabinoid.
Agreed.
It's never a bad idea. And honestly, a good physician nowadays will be very open with you about the use of THC, if they're good, and they'll be frank with you and tell you if they think it's a good thing for you or not. And if you're not smoking it, potential health risks are minimal.
True.
So.
Very true. Very true. But you know what? That's kind of the argument that some people, especially in the state of Kentucky, beg to differ. You know?
Yes.
Right. So in 2021, April, as a matter of fact, April 19th of 2021, there was an opinion letter, is what I am going to call it, or a guidance letter that was sent out by the Kentucky Department of Agriculture to all of the hemp processors, hemp licensees. So that would be the farmers and the processors. They're the ones that hold hemp license here in the state of Kentucky. And lo and behold, of course, I received a copy of it because my husband's a processor. Well, it states in this letter that Delta-8 is illegal, that it is synthetic, that it is on the DEA's list as a Schedule I narcotic.
Which is true.
However,
that doesn't make it that doesn't make it illegal.
No, it does not, and I'm going to further explain that. They are talking about THC from marijuana that is on the Schedule I DEA list. The THC from hemp has been removed from the Schedule I narcotics list. There's a difference. I didn't separate this plant because technically it's the same plant, y'all. Hemp has to be below 0.3% Delta-9 THC on a dry weight basis. Anything over that is considered marijuana. However, what most people do not seem to grasp, it is the same plant. Our government, or whoever the powers that be, because we know how Matt likes to go off on that, they are the ones that made that determination as to what is hemp and to what is marijuana. It's the same damn plant. You're going to find the same cannabinoids in marijuana plant as you will in the hemp plant. And what they did when they legalized when the Farm Bill happened, the 2018 Farm Bill happened, they legalized all cannabinoids as long as it was below the 0.3% Delta-9 THC on a dry weight basis. So how awesome is it that there's all these amazing different cannabinoids? When you isolate them, they help for different reasons. I think that you know, those kids that figured out what the hell Delta-8 was, they were genius. Genius. And the thing is about Delta-8, it is naturally occurring in the plant. Does it happen in small amounts? Absolutely. There's small amounts of all, like over 114 different cannabinoids in this plant. So when they isolated it, you know, while you can extract it straight from the plant, the extraction material, you can also take the CBD isolate and convert it into Delta-8.
Right.
So,
right.
To me,
which those, if you're not in the industry, which most people aren't,
right?
Most CBD is converted. It is naturally harvested from the plant and then it is converted. Mm-hmm. So the conversion process traditionally is still thought of as a natural cannabinoid.
Yes.
Just wanted to qualify that.
Yes. True. And it's science, right? It's like a
science. She blinded me with science.
I tried and I'm not very good at it.
I freaking love that song.
And I didn't do that great in science.
Yes, and now it's in your head. Anyone who listens to this, that's in your head all day.
Yep.
If you know it.
Mm-hmm.
Even the beat.
Oh. And
I love that.
Wait, and what wasn't that? And the kids, there was a movie too.
Oh, that's Weird Science.
Yeah, Weird Science.
I love that as well.
Was a good
Don't
flick.
get me started.
That was one of our genres, our age group. That was a great show. That was awesome.
What was that British woman's name?
Oh, we ain't going there.
Forget
I'm the only
it.
woman
Forget
that matters right
it.
now, Matt.
The original Spank Bank material.
Okay, and we're moving past that.
Yeah,
Thanks.
So back to cannabinoids.
Yeah, back
Delta
to cannabinoids and
Delta-8. Frowned upon by the Kentucky Department of Agriculture.
Correct.
We don't really know why. The claim of it being synthetic is easily debunked.
Yes.
There's clearly other reasons that we're not privy to. We have our suspicions, other
I have
lobbyists,
a lot of
other
suspicions.
financial interests that would not benefit from this product being readily accessible. It is the most likely cause, but to say that we know why, we don't. And the Kentucky Department of Agriculture, as far as I'm concerned, has not offered a satisfactory explanation as to why, other than, oh, it's synthetic. Well, no, it's not. And then when that's disproven, there's really nothing for them to go behind.
Right. The sad thing about that is, and what the fact that our processors here in Kentucky and our farmers can't make it or manufacture it or do any of that stuff here in the state, that harms the whole state. I mean, it really does. And the fact that other states are like, hell yeah, make it, do it, make the money off of it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, there's huge financial opportunity,
huge.
Particularly for the state of Kentucky, revenue, taxes, business, agriculture. It's endless. But turning the ship around is not easily done.
No.
And that's something that collectively we as a CBD community are trying to do.
Yeah.
And with the support of our incredibly loyal followers and customers.
Agreed.
Who are just absolutely amazing in the support of the advocacy of this product.
Yeah.
So that's what gives me the feeling that things will change, things will turn around, and not to steal the mic from you, Dee.
You do it all the time. It's okay.
Yes, I do. But I feel a little bit like what it really boils down to is, where does the regulation need to lie? Where does the taxation of these products need to lie? And when's the research going to come out? When is the FDA going to make some official declarations about cannabinoids, which they refused to do?
Well, they did say that, they didn't agree with whole Delta-8. They put a little blurb out there about that one.
Yeah, but there's no, and again, you can't judge too harshly because these are substances that were illegal for so long.
I know.
And the testing, is far behind, and they are conducting human tests, and it used to be only animal tests that were allowed. They wouldn't even do human testing. So now,
well, they couldn't because it was all Schedule 1.
Right, because it was illegal.
Yeah.
So, as people are learning, the FDA cannot hide forever. They will eventually have to make statements about CBD, about Delta-8, about THC, which THC is a cannabinoid.
Right.
Just to clarify that to anyone out there who thinks that it's a separate thing, it's part of the cannabinoid profile of the hemp and cannabis plant, which are the same plant.
There are a ton of research and trials out there that they are doing and working on, individual companies that have their own pharmaceutical research as far as that goes. Yeah. However, do we really want big pharma in the cannabis and hemp industry in the space? And I'm not even going to go there because we're talking about Delta-8.
It's already happened.
I know.
It's already happened.
We know.
But here's the thing is, hemp and cannabis are a plant that you can put in the ground. Yes. And I've never grown ever.
I really haven't.
But what I've heard is that it grows very easily. It's very sustainable.
That's why they called it a weed, man.
And it's not something that has to be manufactured and produced and can necessarily be regulated in a traditional sense if it's growing everywhere. It's not like a refined manufactured drug that you can only get from someone who has access to a lab, like a big pharma or something like that. It's something that can just grow and be harvested. And once that breaks loose, that is going to make a big impact on a lot of the antiquated infrastructures of our economy, of the economy of these big businesses. And how that's going to be dealt with is a big question mark. I don't have the answer. I have thoughts, but I don't have the answer.
Well, and I think that might have a lot of reason and backing behind that guidance letter of April.
I agree.
No question about it. And, you know, to talk
Bourbon.
to talk more about that.
Which bourbon's delicious, by the way.
We have a bourbon flavored CBD oil.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah,
And mint julep.
So yes, our Kentucky flavored relief. But besides that, you know, we as a community of CBD community, in June of 2021, there were 2 retail stores out in Rowan County that were raided, and all of their Delta-8 was removed from their shelves. One of the owners had his personal bank accounts frozen. You know, they claimed that they were trafficking marijuana, blah, 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 right? So
very scary.
It was very scary. And I was freaking terrified because if anyone knows anything about me, I was furious. I'm like, really? I am in this business to help people. I'm not a fucking criminal. And I don't want to come across that, oh gosh, you're a criminal now that you're selling these products. Well, no, I am not. And myself and a few other retailers, we all kind of came together and decided that we had to stand up to this shit. And we started a GoFundMe page to raise money for our legal fees. A lawsuit got filed in Boone County Circuit Court back in July of 21, and it is still pending. But we had our hearing in December. Yeah. But the crazy thing is we had a hearing set October 16th, and it got rescheduled. The judge ended up having exposure to COVID, so we had to reschedule. On my way home,
it was before National COVID Month.
It was because that was January. We've all decided.
Everyone got COVID.
Yeah, right.
The month everyone got COVID.
But the crazy thing is, on my way home, my phone started blowing up, and I was like, "What is going on?" Like nothing, you know. Next thing I know, 14 stores in Bullitt County got raided for Delta-8.
Yeah.
The day of our freaking hearing.
Yeah.
And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, hello. But here's the crazy thing. I'm definitely not glad that those stores got raided, because I'm definitely not saying that. But I'm glad that the hearing got postponed, because between that postponement and then the next date in December, we learned that the DEA did a town hall meeting down in Florida. And the guy specifically said he has no authority over hemp products, that Delta-8 is legal, that they're not doing anything about this, and it's good to go. And that was a whole town meeting in Florida. Then a letter came out from the DEA to the Alabama Pharmacy Board that specifically says if Delta-8's coming from hemp, it's legal. Much more. I mean, it's a lot wordier than that. I'm condensing that for you.
Paraphrasing.
Paraphrasing it. I'm paraphrasing it. But pretty much that if it's a hemp product.
Dee Dee has a rural background.
I do.
For those of you who don't know, it may come out
sometimes,
and it's awesome.
I'll get my little hick accent in there every now and again, or my Northwestern.
Put them shit kickers on and stomp a mud hole.
My Midwestern voice, speech, whatever.
I love it. I love it.
It's just me.
Speak truth.
Just me. But so anyway, they, we got all this evidence about this fact, and the hearing in December, I thought went really well.
Yeah.
It's all based on the law, and if we follow the letter of the law, this stuff's not illegal, man. And for the Kentucky Department of Agriculture to write this letter, and then for the KSP and then Bullitt County Sheriff to use this letter to get their bench warrants to raid these stores, well...
all illegal activity, actually, according to the attorneys we've discussed it with.
Yeah. See where we said we like attorneys most of the time? We do. We do.
When they tell us what we want to hear.
Oh, please.
But yes. So what can you do as a listener, someone who's not in the industry, continue to advocate the right to purchase, sell, and utilize this product, whether you use it or not. It's really your personal freedom that is on the line here, because and I joke, but in all reality, the legal opinion letter was illegal. Those raids were illegal, and it was set out to strike fear in people without actually changing laws, which, they're not capable of doing.
Right. There is no law in the KRS that says Delta-8 is illegal. Nothing.
I would absolutely, one, if you're interested in the product, do some research, give it a try if you haven't yet. Even if you're not interested in the product, don't let
fear
companies and agencies strike fear in you because they said so, which is really what's at hand here. You're being big brothered, and you're being told something's not okay because they said it's not okay. And if you're an adult of legal age and an American, a United States citizen, you have that right. And don't let anybody take that away from you.
I agree with that completely. The one thing I think about the whole Delta-8 thing that really got me, as far as I talk about putting my paralegal degree back to use, helping with all this stuff. In this hearing, they brought up some people that, saying it's contaminated, saying it's bad for you, saying this one girl took too much, so she felt like she was experiencing some very crazy symptoms. And I was like, well, where'd you buy it? Did you get any? I mean, in my head, that's what I'm thinking sitting there. I'm like, did you talk to anybody before you just bought it? The stuff is being sold everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's selling it.
Yeah.
But are they educating the buyers?
Well, and this is where you and I disagree, because I think that there needs to be a little more regulation, whereas you think there needs to be no regulation. I get it.
Not necessarily.
But should cannabinoids be regulated? Yes, once the nature of them is understood. They should not be banned. They should not be made illegal.
I agree with that.
There should be specific instructions printed. There should be an age requirement.
Okay with that.
There should be
21 and up.
Like anything else that has the potential to be an intoxicant and limit your impair your abilities to drive or operate machinery, which and you can debate on whether or not Delta-8 does that or not. It should still be on there just for the safety. It should have to be childproof, the containers, and you should not be able to buy it randomly at the gas station.
I agree with that.
So does there need and does the government need to take their piece? Probably.
Yeah, but they already charged us to death with taxes. Let's not even go there.
Yes,
oh,
but
Jesus.
I mean, there's potential.
The bane of my existence.
But agreed. Nobody likes taxes, guys, but taxes are what
I know
keep our community going. So look at. Well, I'm not going to bring examples of other things, but cannabis in other states, the tax revenue brought in is amazing.
It is, but Matt, that is marijuana.
And we'll share some statistics of that.
Here in Kentucky, we've only got hemp.
I know, but I'm just saying, imagine what that could do for our schools. Imagine what that could do for the surging homeless problem that we're having here.
And that's fine.
Imagine our roadways.
That's marijuana.
There's so many things.
All for it.
Right. But
the hemp products?
I don't know. Agree to disagree.
We're totally agree. We are definitely going to agree to disagree on that one. Because to me, if it's a hemp product, it's a hemp product. It's already legal. There should not be any issues with it.
Oh, I agree. Currently, I agree.
Okay.
Now, what I'm saying, should laws be made?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's different, man. That's a whole nother topic.
Right.
So, anywho, that's kind of where Delta-8 is in Kentucky. It is not illegal. They want to ban it. There's no, our hearing, our court, our case is still pending. We have another hearing set in April April 22nd, I believe.
Yeah.
So there'll be a full year from when that opinion letter was written.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to have their own opinion about it. I mean, that's a given, what have you. But to try and force a ban on a cannabinoid, when will it stop? When will they stop doing other cannabinoids? The more research that we get to do, and the more that we find that help people.
Yeah.
There's so many other cannabinoids out there. You ban one, what the hell? What the hell, man? What the hell?
The approach was completely inappropriate.
Yeah,
That was and it was very brazen, which you'll see. And I have a theory about commonwealths and their drunkenness of delusions of power and authority, but I'll save that for later.
And you know, if the actual voters in this state could have voted for cannabis, it would have already passed a long time ago. But no, it's our representatives that get to vote for us, and they don't look out for our best interests. A lot of them look out for their own.
Exactly. But you know what? We're making change.
We are.
And
you heard about the one representative that is he owns a bourbon.
It's the whole
and won't vote for cannabis.
Was it Abraham Lincoln that said, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time? The truth it can only be hidden for so long. And as much as I kind of poo-poo about critical thinking, there are people thinking out there. There are people waking up out there and saying, hey, what is going on? And as we see this kind of erosion of the American culture, of the American society, I think people are kind of looking around saying, whoa, what's going on over here? Things are falling apart. And the subterfuge only lasts so long. So, we as U.S. citizens have the responsibility to invoke our rights and inspire change.
Yes.
Because that is the redeeming, most wonderful thing about our government and our systems is we do have the ability to change things. We're not stuck in one way, in one place. No matter what people tell you or lead you to believe.
That's why it was important to bring that lawsuit about, because we had to stop that. It was the first step, and it's important if you follow the letter of the law. I mean,
and creating the awareness, though, which is what we're doing right here. I mean, if you've never heard of Delta-8 and you're listening to this, check it out.
Yeah,
do the research
for sure.
If you're not aware of your constitutional rights, and it sounds sarcastic, but the younger audience out there, review the U.S. Constitution and its amendments. You will be surprised what you're actually allowed to do, and what's actually your right and not your right. I would highly recommend that. I mean, people forget. Things stop being taught. Things get forgotten. And I think that our constitutional rights, this is a perfect example of where our constitutional rights are at risk.
Yes.
And where it just kind of gets plowed over.
Yes.
So,
I mean,
think for yourself out there.
The Farm Bill made it legal. And the sad part about it is there's other states trying to ban it too.
Yeah.
And
there are other states that have banned it.
Yes.
And it's increasing in numbers.
Yes.
Now, I will tell you that most of those states are marijuana legal states.
That is correct.
And they don't want Delta-8 out there because it interferes with the revenue stream.
Yep.
That's coming in from the marijuana, because it's the tax obviously would be different from a hemp product than a marijuana product. We don't need to get in too granular on that. But yeah, so know your rights and know what you're allowed, and it make a difference.
Yeah, I think
if I were to say anything.
Well, that's and that is the whole reason I put myself out there to work on this, and
that's why it's worth the risk for us.
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
to make that difference and improve people. I mean, this product has improved people's lives in such a way that, and we'll do another episode. In fact, there's a couple people we've talked to to come on as guests where they were on medications that were terrible for them, not helping them, and they claim that this product not only has helped their issue, but has provided a healthy cost-effective alternative to potentially dangerous medications.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
No question about that. And I think it's an added benefit, an added bonus too, that we got to try it first.
Have we hit our crescendo?
I think we have.
That's my wrap up.
Definitely.
I wanted to do an actual rap for the wrap up.
you?
I was thinking of like, I can't freestyle. That's the problem. I cannot freestyle. Anytime I try, I look like an ass.
I can see that.
I do not, and I love poetry and I write it, I read it. I just,
Yeah. Thanks for listening to us again, even though he took the mic most of the time and said he wasn't going to, but it's okay. I forgive him. We work well together that way, right?
That was a 60-40 split and you were the 60. We'll add up the minutes later.
Yeah, we will. But hey, thanks for listening to us, and definitely leave your comments and your questions, and we will catch you on the flip side, and stay hempy out there. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Hemp and Happiness with the Hemp Queen
and Emperor.
Keep your mind ever open and expanding. Like, subscribe, review, follow us, all the good stuff. And
keep it hempy out there.